Today I'm going to give you crucial information with regard to Ali Abdaal's Productivity Lab. Hey guys, I'm your favorite lawyer from Vienna and I've been one of the first members of the Productivity Lab ever since it started at the end of April, and I have spent more than 1,200 hours on the lab. So I thought to myself, why not make a video about the current state of the Productivity Lab, because I've already made one 3 months ago after its first quarter, after the first cohort basically. Then the second cohort started and the Productivity Lab kept evolving and improving, and today I want to talk about the new features and about some certain changes of old features. And if you want to know what the Productivity Lab is all about, all of its features, all of its pillars, all the information you need to know about the Productivity Lab, then just watch my first video, which should be linked down here and also up here. This video will focus on the main changes, so let's start with those. Firstly, the live productivity system, which is the brains of the Productivity Lab. This is where Ali basically teaches you everything he knows about productivity. Everything he read about it, all the papers, he wrote a book about it, and everything he has known for the last, or experienced for the last few years, he just distilled that in a course. And in the beginning, in the first cohort, it was a course which took 6 weeks. Each week you had a certain lesson, and now they spread it in the second cohort to 12 weeks, which I think is like a major improvement. So you not only have like slower growth, and more steady growth, so you can actually remind yourself of everything you have been taught, but the theory is also accompanied by live productivity system integration sessions, I think they're called. So the idea is Ali teaches you a certain lesson, in a week, and then the same week you have an integration session with one of the coaches, like many people have it. It's not a one-on-one, where he turns the theory into practice. So you have the theory and then you have the practice. This goes on for 12 weeks. All of the events are recorded. In the first video I said Ali did it live, and he actually did it live for the first cohort, but I think in the second cohort it was recorded, and they've also added a lot. So I think in the future it will also be the recordings. So don't expect Ali to be on the live productivity system for the 12 weeks and do it live. I think that's my current state of knowledge. Secondly, the recurring events, which I think is the heart of the Productivity Lab. I've already talked about it in the first video. Everything remains the same: quarterly reviews, monthly reviews, weekly reviews. What has changed are the focus labs. The focus labs are there for you to actually get your job done. That's the feature where you hop on calls with a few other people on certain times, and then the coach leads you through a certain procedure, structure, where you actually get your specific task, which you want to do in your life, done for that session. And these focus labs are recurring. In the beginning, they had, I think, 3 focus labs. They dured 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then they increased them immensely, because obviously some people, live in Europe like I do, and others live in Australia, so there are different time zones, and you don't want to hop on a focus call, in the middle of the night. Mid-September, they changed all of that. They've, I think, again reduced the number of the moderated focus labs, like those who are moderated by the coaches of the Productivity Lab team. They have introduced the Alchemist-led focus hour sessions. So basically you and I as a member can create a new event where we can set our specific time when we actually want to jump on a focus hour session, and we can theme them like Lord of the Rings or whatever you fancy, and we can also like tweak the duration. We can do it for 2, 4 hours, 5 hours, 1 hour, I don't know. So I've been actually the first one who did that yesterday. Today was the first day where I started it. Today it's the 18th of September. I saw that the one in the morning, the moderated focus lab in the morning, will be cancelled after the next week. So I started one in the morning from 7 to 9 a.m. It went quite well. I actually really liked it. You can host it. Basically, if you have been on this focus, in this moderated ones, you actually know the structure. You can also do Pomodoro, 30 minutes and then 5 minutes break. You can do it however you want, and people can attend or they don't. And on that topic, they've also introduced something that I quite fancy. I think this is a great idea. They've introduced something called lab socials. So not only can you create focus hours for other members and you can host them as a member, but you can also create lab social sessions. So basically there is, for example, already a group that meets every Sunday and they have a video editing party, for example. So you can create as a host certain events at specific times. Let's say Saturday you want to talk about small business ownerships. Yeah, you're a small business owner, and then you can create that event for Saturday, let's say from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central European time, or whatever time zone you're living in, and people can actually join that if they want to. So I think that's a great feature they provide now. Moving to the third part, the Productivity Lab community. There has been some changes with regard to that. I've already talked about the sections of wins and learnings and other stuff in the first video, so I will focus on everything that is actually new. So I want to highlight two things. First of all, there's a book club for all the readers who want to connect with other readers. And secondly, there is now a common room. It's basically a feed where people can just, you know, text something. You can wake up and say, "Good morning, guys." Yeah, I really like that. Or I was looking for a walking pad, for example, and you know, I've asked people if they can help me with finding a suitable one. So people wake up, say good morning, and people can like comment and like, and people can talk about their lives. It's just informal. I really love that. Fourthly, I want to talk about the office hours. So they have now integrated and they are implementing office hours, I think every Monday, where you can hop on a call with one of the team members. It's usually Gio or it's Kaylin, and you can ask questions. This is like really great for people who are starting with the Productivity Lab and who have like a ton of questions. And what I really like about it is that there are not so many people on these calls. Yeah, so you usually get the chance to ask your questions. I think on all the office hours that I have been, everyone could ask their question and got their question answered. So that's also a great feature, I think. Hopefully, I haven't talked about that, I think, in the first video. There are certain courses which are free if you become a member of the Productivity Lab, like the Creatorpreneur course, which is usually provided for in the PTYA course. Yeah, so you get that for free, and there are certain other courses too. So I think that's also like a great bonus. And I'm also sure, almost sure, that you get certain percentage off if you're a Productivity Lab member and you also join the PTYA club. Course. Lastly, if you want to join the Productivity Lab, and again, this is not sponsored in any way, this is my subjective view. I really like it. I've already told you that in the first video, and it has remained the same, my subjective view. But if you want to have a taste of the Productivity Lab without paying something, you should join the quarterly review on the 21st of September 2024. I have also not joined these quarterly reviews earlier to the Productivity Lab, and now I really regret that, because they are for free, so you can jump on that Zoom call basically, and you can prepare all your goals for the last quarter of the year, so you can finish in a strong way. So if you want to have a taste of the Productivity Lab, a glimpse into it, then maybe you can just hop on that call, just go through the procedure that Ali leads you through, and maybe you like it, maybe you don't, and then you will at least know, okay, is the Productivity Lab something for me? And super lastly, yeah, there are great news. I've talked to the head of the Productivity Lab team, and she confirmed that on the 21st of September, again on that day where the quarterly review is, Productivity Lab will be open to everyone. In the beginning, it was capped with 500 members, and the first cohort, more or less 500, I think, and the second one too. And the second one started after the quarterly review at that time. I think it was in June. So I think on the 21st of September, after the quarterly review, Ale will probably announce that the Productivity Lab is open for all of you guys. So I would love to see you there. If you want to be there, again, this is subjective. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it was of any value to you. I hope I could also help the one person that commented under my last video. And yeah, I hope we will see us in another one.